I'm not gonna lie to you, the end of October sort of snuck up on me. I feel like I always start off with how busy my month has been, but at this point it's probably just safer to assume that I'm pretty much always busy. Winter is just around the corner and I'm already feeling how much colder it's gonna be here versus in the city. We've already winterized about 90% of the gardens, but that doesn't mean my work here is done. There's still the general groundskeeping I do, trash collection, cleaning, that sort of stuff. I've also been helping Carney with some repairs. On some of the warmer days, I've been doing some repainting down by the racetrack. And another thing that's super weird, every Friday, like clockwork, the irrigation system around the gardens and vineyards just explode. The water just bursts from the pipes and sprays everywhere. Between Carney and a group of some of us gardeners, we've been getting pretty fast at fixing it, but it's really eerie how it always happens at the same time every Friday. Carney's really not sure what to make of it. Anyway, you're not here to talk about my day today, you're here for Des. Today I am starting in the main barn and getting her breakfast all together. I don't think I've actually ever showed you what she's been eating. Des gets a mix of Wild Heart's senior feed and Fawn Lake's herbal chaff. I also add some of Fawn Lake's Joints Plus supplement. I'll get this soaking and bring it out to Des. I think I maybe mentioned this in my last update, but this month was all about exploring different disciplines with Des. Since we're, now a little less than 2 months away from the big reveal, it's time to decide on what we want to focus our training on. Des has been really great under saddle, and we've been bonding really well, and we've developed a sort of mutual respect. It's funny, the more I meet and ride different horses, the more I can understand their different personalities. Like Jellybean, for instance. She's a little bit of a rebel. She can be a little hot-headed and rash, but when I'm on her back, she gets super protective. I can feel her thinking twice about bolting around and being a general menace. She gets a little bit more calm, but assured. Like she truly means business in the most ferocious and confident way. I haven't known Muka that long yet, but he has a different sort of confidence. Like he knows he can do well and he has what it takes, but there's also a little bit of doubt. Not in his ability, but in a way that he doesn't know if he's making his rider proud. I think that might come from his previous home. He might have never gotten that sort of reassurance that he's doing well. He works so hard like he's trying to earn validation. So Shiloh and I have both been giving him lots of extra praise when we do our training with him. Des, on the other hand, is more reserved and quiet. She's still very sweet and friendly, and I turn her out most of the day with the other horses, and I think she's happiest when she's surrounded by other horses more than people. That said, when we are training, she's focused. She listens well and reacts almost instantly to my inputs. Riding her really does feel like a partnership in the most professional sense. I feel like I'm getting a little off topic again. Anyway, the disciplines that Des and I tried this month. Based on our training, I had a few different ideas for her. First was hunters. With her responsiveness, I thought this would be a bit of a no-brainer. It's more demanding in a grooming and aesthetic way than physical, at least until you get into overfences, and I thought it would be her speed. I did a lesson with my riding club this past month to see how she would do, and, well, she did fine, except for one thing, her trot. We tried a few different things, but for whatever reason, I could not figure out a posting rhythm. Her gait was a lot more relaxed than a typical trot. It was more aligned with Western pleasure, I think, which makes sense. I don't typically ride Western, but I would have for her. In fact, that was actually my original thought, until I went to go saddle her for the first time. I had used a Western saddle, and she was not having it until I switched to the jumping saddle. I'm not sure if it was something to do with the contact points or what, but she was just more comfortable in English gear, and I wasn't really going to push it anyway since I prefer English after all. Anyway, after talking with the instructor, we came to the conclusion that with her trot not really aligning with what judges are looking for, we could probably find a discipline that she would do better at. So next, we tried show jumping. To be honest, I didn't think this would be the best fit for her. While she does enjoy a good gallop, like her trot, she moves very leisurely. She's not exactly a youngster and she hasn't been trained since she was one, so understandably, speed is not her forte. That said, she does jump really neatly. Here we're going over novice level jumps, just shy of 3 feet. The only other issue I ran into is that even though she listens really well, I think seeing the different jumps was a little confusing to her. A few times, especially for jumps that we would pass on the way to other jumps, or if we were doing a rollback, she would assume we were meant to jump them and slow down and try to change course. Or just go over it anyway. That's obviously not ideal since going off course would be a disqualification, but I don't think it's something she couldn't learn. It would just take a little bit more time, which is fine. I think she would get it eventually, but it did make me think she would be better suited for the next discipline, which is cross country. If you know me at all, this shouldn't be surprising. It is one of my absolute favorite riding disciplines. I'm actually hoping to get Jellybean into it since she seems to enjoy our hacks and has great stamina. Anyway, with cross-country courses, you pretty much just jump the obstacles as you find them along the path. There's obviously more to it. You have to jump the correct obstacles, and they vary in their challenges, but if approaching and passing different oxers was throwing Des for a loop, I think a cross-country course may be less confusing for her. The other reason I think it would be better for her is it's endurance-based and not speed. She's been wild her whole life, running around South Hoof, jumping over the natural terrain and rocks, managing her energy and stamina. At least in my unprofessional opinion, she's been doing this sort of riding, albeit a little less intense, her whole life, and it just seems like a natural fit for her. So that's really where we've been focusing her training on for this past week, and I've got to say, she's really taking to it well. We've been easing into it, going for hacks around the equestrian center. I've even put together some training circuits around Golden Leaf Forest, little things to build up her confidence and get a feel for it. With her focus discipline decided, all that was left to do was register her show name. Well, that wasn't all there was left to do. There's still a lot of training, and I have to have another discussion with the farrier, plus some questions I have for the vet, and, well, you get the idea. But choosing her show name was also very important. So, allow me to introduce FL Love Me Thorns and All. Get it? Because every rose, desert rose, has its thorns. And FL stands for Fawn Lake Rescue, where Des is from and who's hosting the makeover. I am over the moon with how things are going, and I cannot wait to get more training in with her. I've been talking for a while, so she's probably done eating, so I'm gonna go get her cleaned up, get changed, and we're going to start our morning lesson. I'll catch up with you on Des's progress of becoming a champion next month. Bye!